Be 18 at the time this happened, working alone at a liquor store. It's in the worst part of town. This homeless guy comes in. He introduces himself and politely makes me an offer. He says he'll clean the entire outside area of the store in exchange for some water and a packet of potato chips. Sure, fuck it, why not? That motherfucker cleans like there is no tomorrow. He picked up every speck of broken glass, every plastic bag, and every crushed can. He obtains a broken tree branch and uses it as a broom to sweep away excess dirt. Lastly, he rifles through the bushes and extracts no less than 12 hypodermic needles, which the crackheads dumped there overnight. I honor the pact. I provide him with free water and a few bags of potato chips. He thanks me and goes on his way. About 20 minutes later, police sirens converge all around the store. I see cops and paramedics sprinting into the rental truck place next door. As I said, it's a shitty area, so not unexpected, but I monitor the situation. After about an hour, 2 uniformed police walk in. They ask if I've seen anyone walking around with a bottle of water and some chips. I say yes. I explain to them what happened earlier. They leave, and then return a few minutes later with a photo of a water bottle and chip packets, specifically over the barcode. I manually enter the barcode number into the register. Yep, it's the water and chips I gave him. Turned out that, immediately after receiving the goods, he left my shop. He walked directly to the rental truck place next door. He calmly walked inside and approached the counter. Then he proceeded to violently stab a 51-year-old administrative clerk in the throat. Stabbed her repeatedly. She died right then and there. Then he just calmly walked off. Turned out there was no motive, no reason. In court, his only explanation was something along the lines of, I don't know, I just wanted to kill somebody that day. Pic in the OP post is a photo I took of a crackhead customer that came in on my last day of work. He showed me his eyes and said, "Take a picture, bro. Show your friends. Show all your friends, bro." That was a crazy place. Had knives and gun robberies all the time. One time I even got bottled over the head. I've only got one more story that was more unnerving and chilling than the homeless dude. OP here dumping another story to get it moving along. This dude rolled into my shop. He is dodgy as fuck. He picks up a 1-liter bottle of Gentleman Jack's. I stand in front of the door, as he obviously proceeds to leave without paying. Nah man, it's not free. Pay or leave it on the counter. He does the usual, "What? You what, mate?" etc., trying to pretend like he's tough. He can't swing because he has to hold this Gentleman Jack's in his hand. As I am talking, he starts shaking his head at me. I think, what the fuck? I wasn't asking him questions, and it was just an unusual thing to do. Kind of walk towards him so he is further in the shop. I back him up towards the counter. I rip the bottle out of his hand and throw it onto the chair behind the counter. I pick up the bottle of wine in my hand and keep it by my side. "Leave, or I'm just gonna call the cops, man." He abuses me and swears as he walks outside. I check the CCTV footage and print out his photo. What I see fucking terrifies me. As I was standing at the door, there was someone behind me. I can't tell exactly what it is, but the guy has what appears to be one of those big, 4-arm-length screwdrivers at his right side. He quietly moved right behind me as I confronted this dude and was looking at him. That's why the dude was shaking his head. He was telling his buddy not to murder me. I was actually kind of thankful in hindsight, but fuck them men. Lesson learned. Always assume there are more people outside if people were robbing the inside. Lesson learned. Always have room behind you to move, but Jesus, you need to know it is there. This next time, this nice old boy rolls up. I make conversation about where he's from. After a while, he can't find the port he's after, so he leaves. As he leaves, he says, "Hey, white fella found this 10 cents on the ground," and puts it on the counter. A few minutes later, I notice at least 3 bottles of vodka are missing. Fuck that guy. I go for a jog out front of the shop. I see him and ask for the bottles. I can see them in his bag, while he denies ever having met me. He tries to walk away. Fuck it. I stop him and try to grab his bag. I see that one of the bottles is already half fucking empty. He says, alright, have this one then," while handing me the half-empty bottle. I notice that his other hand is gripping the neck of another bottle in his bag. Fuck. This motherfucker is trying to bottle me. I rip the half-empty bottle out of his hand and brandish it as a weapon. I tell him to drop his bag before I smash him. In his drunken, slurred state, he hesitates, so I push him and grab his bag. I take the remaining 2 bottles and leave the half-empty one so he does not harass my staff later on. As I am walking back to the shop, a car full of crackheads that I know pull up. I think, oh fuck, they think I just robbed their grandpa or some shit. They scream, "Behind you, bro, fuck, turn around." This old boy is no less than 2 steps away from me, with the biggest fuck-off serrated, gut-hook hunting knife I have ever seen in my life. I nearly bottle him instantly, but I think better of it. I slowly jog ahead of him, while he stumbles after me, throwing rocks and sticks. He stops after about 50 meters or so, taunting me with a knife, and yelling how he's going to slit me from ear to ear. I laugh and head back to the shop. OP here again. Have another one. Here is how I got bottled during a violent robbery, nearly bashed by 4 guys in the waiting car, and almost mowed down by their 4x4. It missed me by under a meter. These 2 guys roll into the shop. They do a runner with like 6 bottles of spirits. I managed to wrestle a 1-liter Smirnoff from one of them. I give chase. I notice that there is vodka all over me. The bottle got cracked when I was wrestling for it. I think, fuck you then, and hurl the bottle at the car. It completely explodes the back window of the car. I think, fuck yeah. And then I realize what I've done. I have this gut feeling to turn around. There is some big ass guy right behind me, pulling his shirt over the back of his head. These guys must be the stupidest around, to try and hide his face, fists raised. It's on. I raise my fist and walk toward him. He backs away. He won't come towards me. All of a sudden, all of the doors in the car behind him, in front of me, open up. Oh fuck. 4 other guys pour out of the car. They are holding what appears to be poles, sprinting towards me. I remember I have my pocket knife in my pocket. I pull it out. The guy says, "You're a dirty fuck." Like, what the fuck? There is literally 5 of you with weapons. How am I the dirty one? Instantly, something smashes me across the face. I thought I got punched by someone, but no one else was around me. I realized that one of the fucks from the car hurled a fucking bottle at me, and it landed smack bang between my eyes and exploded on my face. Fair enough, I mean, I did smash the car window. As they get closer, I realize I need to get the fuck out of the situation, but if I turn my back, the big guy is so close, he will just jump me. I hold the knife in front of me and stand my ground. The big ass guy tests me and fake lunges/runs. I call his bluff and do not budge. He realizes he is legit going to get stabbed if he comes up to me. The others are still running up to us. These cars start stopping. This is in the middle of the road, by the way, and start beeping at us. I slowly start backing towards the shop with a forward stance, and they follow. The blood starts blurring my vision. I cannot see shit. I make an executive decision to just fucking leg it as hard as I possibly can back to the shop. About halfway there, I can't see shit. I am sprinting for my life. There is a massive sound. A big bang crack. I can't tell exactly what just happened, but I hear engines roaring and cars beeping. I get the fuck back inside. My workmates are freaking out. I reviewed the CCTV footage with the cops when they got there. I didn't even realize, but they got back in their car and tried to mow me down. The only thing that saved me was that I moved to avoid running into a telephone booth, and their car hit a curb trying to swerve and get me, and the car got thrown into the air and onto a median strip. They drove away after that. They never got caught. Further robberies. This dude rolls up. He is looking at premixes. I get a dodgy feeling, so I stand close by. He picks up around $80 of alcohol. He starts subtly moving towards the exit. I stop him. "Bro, you gotta pay for it." He instantly pulls out a knife and presses it right into my throat with the sharp side. He is staring at me with full, meth-addled eyes. I literally realize I might die over vodka cruisers. "Have a good day, bro. You take it easy, man." He says, "You too," and then leaves. I didn't know whether or not to laugh or want to cry. That was the first time I ever got a knife pulled on me at that shop. Here's another. Just me working, It's around 9 p.m. Two guys walk in, most definitely, absolutely, trying to steal spirits. One of them tries distracting me with questions. Been around the block by now, I straight up call it. I interrupt him and say, I'm calling the cops, get the fuck out. This guy walks right behind me, and I feel pressure through my shirt and jumper. I feel his chest against my back. He says, you won't do fuck all, bro. The fuck do you think you are, fucker? Etc, etc. I can't move forward because there is a counter there. I thought he was gonna rob the store. I can't turn around because he's got a fucking knife pressed on my back. I say, alright man, just let me go. Get the fuck away from me. He proceeds to explain how he will be back with all of his cousins and wait for me to leave if I call the cops. Alright mate, alright, no problems bro, just take it and go. I figured he grabbed a bottle of something by this point. They both just left after that. I don't understand why they didn't ask me to empty the till or some shit, but it was frightening as hell. I was only 18 at the time. I found the guy on Facebook afterwards. I didn't even bother calling the cops. It wouldn't have done anything anyway. On that note, when I first started working there, after it got dodgy, I flicked through the incident log. Here is one story that stood out that was written down. 4 female Aboriginal women on house arrest called the cops and asked them to take them to the bottle shop. Otherwise, they were just going to breach parole and go there anyway. Incident register literally says, 4 females escorted by police into store. They ended up stealing literally 4 bottles of bourbon. The cops never found out. Only after reviewing footage did they see how they disappeared. I provided footage to the cops. Nothing happened. Literally, the cops knew exactly who they were and were in their presence. They had clear CCTV footage of them stealing $200 of alcohol and didn't even bother chasing it up. Lol. OP here. More stories. I caught this dumb bitch stealing. I banned her. I caught her trying to steal literally 7 more times. Every time she was abusive and pushed / tried to punch me when I caught her. She comes in an 8th time. I straight up grab her and tell her if she comes in here again, she will be leaving in an ambulance. She tried to get her friends to buy her alcohol no less than 5 or 6 times, even asking random people at the front of the shop to buy it for her. The people repeatedly refused to. The last time I saw her, I tell her, next time I am keeping your cash, so she leaves me and the store alone. It works. About a week later, I am unloading pallets from a truck. I bend down to cut some pallet wrapping. I hear a whoosh smash. Something explodes on the pillar behind me. I am showered in glass and reek of wine. I see her face leaning out of the passenger window of a white Commodore roll, screaming past the front of the shop. It was a drive-through bottle shop leading to a 70km/h road. She was easily doing around 100 kilometers an hour. She hurled a bottle of wine at me, going 100 kilometers an hour, and it missed my head by pure chance. It was a pretty good throw though. This one happened late at night. Regular customer called Cafe, who is also a street hooker, walked in. Cafe can be cool, but when she smokes meth, she is an asshole. Cafe has no money. I politely refuse her service and let her know I can't do her tick. She gets shitty. I be nice to Cafe. I offer to call her a cab and pay for it. She gets really aggressive. She offers me a BJ for a 6-pack. She gets aggressive again when I decline. My patience wears out. I tell her to fuck off. She berates me from outside the shop, berates the customers too. After about 20 minutes of this, I walk out and physically push her across the road. She starts swinging at me. I tell her straight up I will knock her out if she punches me. She keeps trying to swing. Eventually, she stays on the other side of the road and she is telling her son, who is a serial offender, has been in jail for sex crimes, assaults, burglaries, etc. I think nothing of it. 2 days later, her son, pick related, rolls into the shop. I don't even have time to recognize him. Hey mate, how you go? He instantly pepper sprays me and then sprints out of the shop. I cop a mouthful of it. I run outside and wash my face and vomit. I struggle to breathe. The asthma puffer kinda helps, but not very much. My lungs feel like that feel when you eat hot chips too fast, but like all inside of my lungs. My throat gets clogged up, so every time I try to spit, I just end up vomiting, but it can't come out properly. Shit felt like choking on whiskey really bad whilst having an asthma attack and rubbing chili in your eyes. I had to go home afterwards. The police did nothing, by the way. Different time. This car drives in. It takes me a few minutes to realize, but the driver is completely smashed. I refuse him service. He argues, gets shitty, gets out and picks up a bottle of wine before trying to get back in his car. I rip the bottle of wine out of his hand. I tell him to fuck off and pick up the phone as if I'm calling the police. He gets mad about me calling the police. He goes to pick up another bottle, and I can tell this one is going to get launched at my head. I pick up a short bat, a wooden pole basically, from behind the counter and go ham. I am yelling at him to get back in the fucking car. I push him and move back. I keep my distance. He argues but gets the point. He gets in his car. About 2 hours later, the same car pulls through. A different dude is driving, but I recognize the driver. The drunk dude is the passenger. The drunk dude just stares and does not say a word. Driver asks me for a bottle of Jack's. He is sober, so alright. He's paying for it, you know. I get a bottle and bring a card machine over to him. As I lean into the car to hand him the machine, I see the passenger clutching something back in his lap. I realize it is a handgun. He is drunk and pissed at me, and I legitimately think I'm about to get murdered, so I drop the bottle of Jack's and sprint into the back office and lock the door. I went back months to find it, but here is the pic of the guy who I'm pretty sure was the driver, sober guy. I didn't bother calling the cops because footage obviously did not capture the inside of the car, and they wouldn't have done fuck all anyway. Plus, if the driver got arrested, not the one with the gun, his family would have raised hell in that shop for the rest of eternity. I posted this one back on Bay. Out of pure chance, the lady's son was in the thread. One of the top 3 worst things I've ever seen at that store. Awesome regular customer called Cafe. Not affiliated with the previous cafe that I mentioned. She is super nice. Just lost her husband a year before I met her and is raising 3 boys on her own. Kind of fucked up mentally because of it. One day I'm serving customers and an old lady in line says, "Oh my god, oh my god." Turn around. There is Cafe standing in front of the computer. She is pale as fuck, clutching her neck, blood completely drenched all over her. I mean, completely drenched. The floor was a puddle underneath her. Holy shit. I grab my phone and dial 000 as I run to Cafe. She is just standing there eyes wide, not saying a word, clearly in terrible shock. She is not responding to me and bleeding profusely. I realize and sit her down, but recognize that she is about to pass out, so I make her lie down. The customers are all freaking out. Cafe passes out. I am on the phone to the cops. I tell them to send an ambulance on their way. Looks like she was assaulted or something. I start pressing the sleeve of my jumper against her throat. It's been hacked open. It wasn't like slit or cut, it was torn open. I nearly vomited, but whatever. Eventually, the ambos arrive, and a few minutes later, police rock up. They rush her to the hospital. Never had to make a statement, but one of the cops who responded came in later on a different matter and told me what happened. Kathy wore a gold chain with her and her husband's wedding ring on it. 2 Aboriginal people, a man and a woman, punched her and pushed her to the ground. She was on her stomach, and the man tried to rip the chain off of her neck from the back. It was a strong chain. He ended up putting his boot on her back and sawing the chain left and right to try to break it. Imagine you've got piano wire from behind someone and are trying to behead them. The chain sliced her neck open and the rings tore it up. Kathy lived, surprisingly. Next one is a short one. Happened on New Year's, 2013. I am out with my friend and their GF at a decent college bar downtown. I'm not really much of a bar person. We had a few drinks. I am chatting with the GF's roommates about shit. Guy comes up to me, asks me to dance. His mouth and nostrils are lit up like Christmas under the blacklight. I politely decline. He follows me around for the rest of the night. I never see him drink or eat anything. Then midnight happens. I take off around 12:30 since I was not there to smooch anyone. I book it to my car to avoid Cokie McStalker. The next morning, my friend from the bar messages me with a link to the local news page. Cokie was arrested at 1:30 a.m. after robbing someone at knife point by the ATM next to the parking garage I had left from. Pic related, his mugshot. I befriend this old street hooker who says her name is Wendy. Eventually, Wendy introduces me to her neighbor. He just happened to kind of roam the same streets as her / longtime boyfriend called Rob. Rob's a real nice guy, absolute legend, old Irish bloke, and a real easy person to get along with. Wendy is a hardcore drinker, buys 4 cans of Stanley Chardonnay every day. 1 carton equals 4 liters of wine, and she literally drank 16 liters of wine every day. Wendy shares her depression with me over her heroin addiction. Sad to hear. Wendy and Rob don't come in for a while. Wendy comes in, looks like an absolute mess, begs for her usual wine but cannot afford to pay. I don't question her state. I know her well enough and feel bad. Say I can't take her, but I'll buy her a carton. She is really thankful. As she's talking, she says, Rob was murdered. No shit. On the news that night, I saw a report about a homeless guy who got murdered in front of a church. Some guy with a tomahawk hacked him split down the center of the head. The crazy guy heard voices telling him to purge the city. Said that he thought all homeless people wanted to die. Fuck man, Rob was a champion. A dead set nice bloke. He was homeless out of mischance and was not a criminal. He always had a smile in the worst of times, and every time he came in I opened a bottle of wine. I called it a wine tasting and got kinda drunk with him. I feel really sad about it every now and then when I think of it. It apparently took him 4 hours to die, but no one noticed because it happened at like 1 a.m, and in the morning he was finally found. I found out that Wendy died last month from kidney failure. This next one of the houses down the road is having a party. They come and go from the shop no more than 5 or 6 times in an afternoon, buying bottles of spirits every time. One of the street hookers named Brookie heads there repeatedly and comes back later, crying and upset. She is smashed up and completely bashed. She refuses to let me call the police. She heads to the crack house 50 meters down the road to do whatever. Got plenty of stories on this place. One is coming up next. I notice a group of guys walking past the cars parked in an adjacent building, smashing every single window that they could. Not even robbing them, just smashing the windows. Anyway, I hear a whole bunch of screaming. I kinda recognize a voice. About 5 minutes later, this guy, regular customer, dead set champion, rolls into the shop. Was outside putting away his smokes when someone came up and said, "Aye bruh, got a smoke?" He gave the dude a smoke, and the guy just swung at him. This guy ran and got chased by like 3 or 4 guys. One of them had some kind of a pole. He got hit in the ribs, back, arms, and shoulders with the pole, eventually copped a schwack to the face. Came in, I gave him a beer, laughed about it, and he left. Pick related, it's the dude who got hit in the face. One of the primary sources of crime was a full-blown crack house 50 meters down the road, and every single house was public housing around it. One major crackhead told me he never sets foot in that particular crack house, and described a scene where the bathroom had box after box after box of used needles in them, like literally hundreds. He said that the bottom of the cardboard boxes were seeping blood and meth and saline fluids onto the moldy floor, and when he saw another crackhead sucking the puddle into a needle and booting it, he never returned. I wish I was making this up. By the way, here's an article on the area I worked on. End of a story. Befriend a crackhead couple. They come in regularly. Crazy, criminal dodgy guys, but I get along with them, and they have never caused trouble in our shop. One day, the chick comes in without her BF. Where's your BF? Locked up. Oh, for long? Reckon he'll get 20 years. That was the end of that conversation. Turns out, he murdered his older brother, who was also a regular. The family came in after the funeral later, and I shared a beer with them as we chatted for a while. Last I heard, the dude almost got killed in prison. 3 days later, I saw the GF riding on her ex-BF cousin at the bus stop. A week later, that cousin comes into the shop, clearly choked up. He hardly ever drinks. I say, "Joe, man, everything alright?" His auntie got murdered. She was found dumped on the road out front of a crack house in the northern suburbs. Realized that this kind of violence truly does run in family trees. I accidentally forgot to paste the article, and now I can't find it. My bad. I make friends with this nice chick cop, who often responded to our calls from June to July 2015. I called the police at least twice every shift, and I work 6 days a week. I know this because I went back on my phone logs for 000 as Vodafone called and asked if I was accidentally calling 000 and wondering why there were so many frequent calls, lol. One time, she was in our shop literally every day that week. I was there every day. She comes in with some detectives one day, investigating some serious shit. She asked me for some footage through a particular time and wants me to show them the footage then and there. I do so. As they are taking notes, I offer them a Tim Tam. They all accept. We get to banter and start talking. As we are talking, a bicycle screams through the drive-through section of the shop and keeps on rolling. A few seconds later, 3 dudes sprint through the shop as well. One of them has a cricket bat. They are clearly chasing the dude on the bike. Everyone froze. I laughed and said, "Huh, crackheads." They laughed too, shrugged, and we kept talking. It was funny to see how normalized that kind of activity was in the area. When I got bottled, one of the detectives was the one who got the call. It was funny when he rolled up like, "Everyone get on that." Oh shit, hang on. "Yo Dave, what's good man? You're bleeding bro. Need an ambulance?" "Nah man, it's good." My boss was like, "What the fuck man?" This really nice old customer called Beth buys her wine and Guinness every day. She brings her granddaughter in one day. Suspicious of her age, but I trust Beth. Anyway, a few months later, same girl comes in, celebrating her 18th. I say, "You shouldn't have risked getting me a fine. Coming in here underage, you know." She is silent, buys her piss, gets in a car, and leaves. I did not know that she was pregnant at the time. Fast forward a few months. She comes in and shows me her baby. Tells me about how she's changing her life around now. Doesn't do illegal stupid shit. Is determined to give her child the best life possible, etc., etc. I tell her well done. I tell her to be proud. Later that night, I see this article. Rockingham woman, 18, crashes car with a baby on her lap after drinking. My face went. It was that exact same chick. I laughed my ass off. I was not surprised. This massive, hugely ripped bikey looking dude called Darcy comes in. He tells me he used to be a champion boxer. I'm a boxer too, and I completely believe him. He offers me free tickets to his next fight. He is punch drunk and meth-brained. Makes him friendly enough to have a conversation with. One day, I hear a commotion around the construction site opposite the shop. A whole bunch of construction workers screaming at this huge bloke. I recognize it's Darcy. Darcy has a shovel in his hand and is not fucking around. Is having a go at all of the construction workers. They are shitting themselves. One of the workers throws what appears to be a can of beer at Darcy. Hits him square in the face. He just starts approaching. Like, not running, but rapidly walking in an unstoppable way. They all run. Darcy uses his shovel to smash the fuck out of their diggers and cranes. I can see the site manager calling the police. The security guard wisely chooses to do nothing. Darcy wreaks havoc, brings carnage to the site, throws everything that he can, and hurls bricks at the workers. Darcy throws a power tool at one of the workers, hits him. It looks so brutal, I audibly say, "Fuck me." Darcy strolls out in the same unstoppable walking manner, shovel in hand. I yell out to Darcy, "Hey bro." Darcy yells back, "G'day young fella," then walks off into a side street. Cops arrive. Ambulance too a few minutes later. One of Darcy's mates, Steve, who is a career criminal, teardrop tattoos, etc., etc., comes into the shop a month later. He tells me that Darcy has gone crazy from meth, has not slept in weeks. He was chatting to Darcy in a local town, and Darcy just randomly started picking fights and accusing them of following him. Darcy reckons that the Triad are out to get him from a big deal he fucked up years ago. Says that Darcy was walking around town with a massive, humongous, fuck-off hunting knife. Steve said that Darcy was a time bomb and guaranteed he was going to murder someone soon. Darcy took his own life 1 week later. This is one of my all-time favorites by far. There were a group of crackheads out the front of the store. Arguing as per usual, they get into a fight. I watch it through the windows. It's actually a pretty good fight. Not the usual crackhead kind of fight. One of the guy's girlfriends pulls out a knife, a big kitchen knife from her bag. Ah, yes. Other guy instantly knocks her out. I am loving this. It's the most entertaining thing that's happened all day. A cop car rolls past. The two fighters scatter. The other crackheads use their crackhead hive mind and give all of their crack to one particular dude quickly. He fucking runs. Within seconds, must have been chance, a dog squad car rolls up. The dude with the crack sprints for our shop. We've got one cop car blocking the exit of our drive-thru, lights flashing. We've got a dog squad car blocking the entrance, lights flashing. Dog and cop jump out and chase the crackhead with the drugs. One of the other crackheads gets pissed because he knows his crack is now as good as gone. He picks up a $3 ice sign, ironically, and hurls it at the first police car. He picks it up, hurls it again, begins smashing the cop car. I am just in awe at the scene. 30 seconds ago, I was bored. The knocked out crackhead is still on the ground, kinda convulsing at this point. Another cop car rolls up. They jump out towards the crackhead with the sign. He runs at them, so they tase him. This shit just keeps getting better. My mind is blown. People at the nearby cafe think we got held up or something. They all run over to see what is going on. By now, crackhead girl is waking up, notices her boyfriend is getting arrested. She starts a ruckus. The other cop pepper sprays her. The cop inadvertently pepper sprays the crowd of onlookers from the cafe that come to see what's going on. My face when there was 3 cop cars, a tased crackhead screaming, a sprayed crackhead choking, a dog tearing at a crackhead's leg on the road, and a crowd of onlookers writhing in pain, clutching at their eyeballs. Gonna end my stories for now on a high note. There is an absolute fucking champion pensioner called Billy who lives on the corner. Can see his house from the store. Used to give me weed cookies for cheap piss. I would take them and give them to my buddies. Always a good time and great banter with Billy. One day it's quiet. I am restocking cigarettes. The motion beeper goes off. I stand up from behind the counter and say, "Good day, mate." See a fucking gun. Some guy in a fucking dark hoodie, face covered, pointing a legit handgun at me. Oh fuck, I'm dead. Before I can even put my hands up, he screams, "Suck my balls, motherfucker." I am so confused and terrified. I can't even respond. Next minute, fucking laughter from the guy. He pulls off his hoodie and it's Billy. This 60-year-old motherfucker nearly gave me a heart attack. Fuck me, Billy, what the fuck, mate? I was about to press the panic alarm, you asshole. We laugh about it as my heart races. We make banter, discuss a little .22 handgun he illegally bought somewhere. I hold it in my hand, pull out the magazine. Nice little thing. Tiny though. As I am doing this, 3 dodgy fuckers roll in. They start causing trouble, one of them arguing with me, one of them clearly trying to steal, the other arguing with Billy. I say, "Alright, all of you get the fuck out or I'm calling the cops." Billy, half drunk and feeling brave, says, "Yeah, get the fuck out." They all move towards Billy and start harassing him, clearly about to fight him. Think that I'm about to watch poor Billy get absolutely smashed. Start panicking and pick up a wooden bat as it escalates. Next minute, Billy starts screaming and pulls out the handgun, waves it at them. Never have I seen crackheads with such looks of terror. They fucking run like Usain Bolt on meth. Billy and I piss ourselves laughing. He puts the handgun away. We remark about the good timing. Billy waits for them to disappear and walks back home. 5 minutes later, the cops came asking for CCTV footage of something unrelated, lol. Hey, I hope you've enjoyed the stories. The goal for the channel is 100k, so please subscribe, like and leave a comment because it really helps the channel. Thank you for watching.